Hello everybody and welcome to College Sports Talk. Today I'm going to be talking about the Edmonton Oilers and how they re-signed Leon Draisaitl to an 8-year contract. So the 8-year contract is obviously for 8 years, worth $68 million in total and $8.5 million per year. So Leon Draisaitl is a very good player. He can either play a wing or a center position. So that's very versatile and very important for the Oilers. Because, for example, let's say they want to put Nugent, Ryan, Hopkins on the second line for a certain period of time too. So what that means that if Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins is on the same line, that means that they have two players that can take the face-off. So that would cause disruptions for preparations and whatnot. Or Draisaitl can play on the first line with McDavid and cause the same problem as before that I mentioned. With that said, what it should be is Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, and then Hopkins. And that makes the best 1-2-3 center in the NHL. Arguably, Draisaitl and McDavid is the best 1-2 in the West when it comes to centers, at least. Yeah, Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby is the best in the NHL, mostly because they accomplished more. They went to 4 Cup Finals, won 3. Sidney Crosby is the best player in the NHL. Evgeny Malkin's not too far behind. Honestly, he's not. So obviously they have the best 2 centers in the. No, the best 1-2 punch in the NHL when it comes to centers. But like I said before, the Oilers can compete with that, or at least be the best 1-2 punch or 1-2-3 punch in the Western Conference. So I just kind of want to compare Leon Draisaitl's contract to Connor McDavid's because obviously in terms of length it's the same, but money not so much. So Connor McDavid is a generational player. No need to say that or anything. Everybody knows that, or everybody who follows the NHL at least. And majority of people who do follow my channel are from Louisiana, so one can assume they don't know too much about the NHL. I didn't know too much about the NHL until like 2 years ago, so there's that. So if I can tell people about the NHL and just bring more light to the NHL, that's more power to me, and honestly that would be terrific because I love the NHL. So Connor McDavid's contract is 8 years and $100 million in total, which is $12.5 million per year. So he's probably going to be the best player in the NHL once Sidney Crosby leaves. And unfortunately for Sidney Crosby, that may be sooner than we all would like, or similarly we would all like. He's the face of the NHL, but the fact is he's not protected very well. Yeah, he's viewed as a whiner, but honestly, I don't think he is. He's a tough player. He gets abused, quite honestly. And because of that, he gets a lot of concussions, and unfortunately, that can lead to a lower lifespan as a player, or a career span, hopefully not affecting his lifespan. But yeah, back to the Oilers. So yeah, I really like this contract based on the fact that, well, Leon Draisaitl is a really good player. Yeah, it's a little overpaid, but who is it not these days? And the fact that he's from Germany, not many players from Germany are well known, so that's always a bright spot. So let's look at Draisaitl's stats. In 2015, well actually, let's start off with this. 2014, he was drafted by the Oilers, number 3 overall. He played 37 games and produced 9 points, so not very good at all. And then he went back to the Colino Rockets in the WHL and produced 53 points in 32 games, so yeah, decent. In 2015, he played 72 games and 51 points, so that's pretty decent. But he had 19 goals. I mean, at that point, you can still count him as a rookie. And then last season, he played his first full NHL season with 82 games, in which he had 77 points. So, really good player, really good contract concerning what he will bring to the franchise. Most likely Stanley Cups, plural, because him with McDavid, that's a really good combo, like I said before. And then you have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, best number 3 center in the NHL. He can play the second line if he wants. I don't think it would be the best, because, I don't know. Yeah, he'll get more points-wise, most likely. But it would be better for the Oilers for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to be a number 3 center. Even though I believe he was drafted number 1 overall. But there's no shame in being the number 3 center and Stanley Cup team. So there's that. And in all honesty, the Oilers aren't far behind in terms of winning Stanley Cup. I could see them being in it probably next year, honestly. But I don't know. Let's look at Connor McDavid's stats. So in 2015, he had 48 points, but he only played 45 games due to injury. But in 2016, he went off. He had 100 points, 30 goals, and 70 assists. But this video isn't about him. I just want to compare the two players because, yet again, they're going to be on the same team for 8 years and be a dynamic duo and just wreak havoc on the NHL. So what does this mean for the rest of the NHL? More importantly, what does it mean for Bo Horvat of the Vancouver Canucks and David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins? So, I have a Pelicans hat on, but I'm a Bruins fan. So, one can assume this would raise their value to a certain extent. It was believed that Leon Draisaitl was going to be above $9 million per year. With that said, though, David Pastrnak only has 7 points less last season. And similar to Connor McDavid in the sense, he didn't play a full season 2 years ago because of injury. And if he didn't, he would have presumably a really good season. So I want to count last season for David Pastrnak as a breakout season because based off the small sample of David Pastrnak from 2 seasons ago, we knew that what type of player he was going to be. Honestly, I don't know too much about Bo Horvat, so I can't say much about him. But David Pastrnak is a real good player, and one can assume this will bring up his value because, like I said before, only 7 points less than Draisaitl, and presumably he'll be the face of the franchise for Boston for years to come. And he had 34 goals, which is 5 more than Leon Draisaitl. But again, Leon Draisaitl is a center. Well, he can play wing, like I said before, but chances are he's going to be playing center if he's being paid this much. But yeah, for people who don't know, generally centers are paid more than wingers because to be a Stanley Cup contender or playoff contender, you need depth in the center. So generally, centers are more valued than wingers. But yeah, as a fan of the Bruins, I'm not the biggest fan of David Pastrnak's value increasing. Mostly due to the fact that the Boston Bruins have proved that they do not want to pay their superstar players, i.e. Tyler Seguin, Joe Thornton. They got traded, and people were saying David Pastrnak could be traded. That's not going to happen. You're not going to trade to the best player He's only 21 years old. Yeah, Tyler Seguin got traded when he was 21, but he wasn't being used correctly. David Pastrnak is. But thank you guys for looking at the video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. Thank you very much.